And I think the majority of your adjustment comes from 1 and 2. Are you playing super greedy, super slow with some Battle Fury carry, or is this a carry that's just going to fight early? And I think Pure can adjust that pretty quickly. So I think most of the time, BB Team can strike an even tempo against Gaimin and alleviate a lot of the normal advantages this team creates. Now, I do think Gaimin has slowed down with Watson recently, so sure, it's maybe not as vital as it used to be against that old squad, but maybe part of why they've slowed down is Gaimin is having a time finding their own pace, which
early first blood, finding that one right off the bat. Tofu. And just save out, trying to do, I assume, a little bit of bounty rune shenanigans here. So where I was leading this to, Avery, is that BB Team, I think part of the way that they contest tempo-wise is the fact that Pure does have that versatility, but I feel like that versatility is always shown in strength against game gladiators because of his willingness to play more aggressive characters. Dawnbreaker. And I feel like that is actually what allowed them to be able to match up. Here, playing Phantom Lancer, I feel like you are opening yourself up to the pace that game gladiators are so notorious for.
It's not the carry I would want to play against this team, I'll put it that way.
Sure.
Particularly if it's not an ultra free game for it, which when you look at this lineup, they do have Doom, they have Ember. Centaur is a little bit of AoE. It's not an ultra free family. You have some cores that can scale well into it. Ember can cause some problems later on with Shivas. Doom is a Radiance buyer. You have the 2 big items that are going to come online eventually in this game, which is what you look for versus the PL. And you have enough AoE clear that you can play the fight to not be super worried though. Obviously, you can play the outskirts of the fight a little bit with this hero. You can abuse the new ags with the extra rush range and stuff like that. He does more damage than I think people expect. He's probably more viable than people give him credit for. Just a little surprising to see Pure busted out here. Maybe he's just ultra confident in the pick in general. He doesn't care about playing into a couple of counters. Of course, they, more importantly for me, have that Storm Spirit on the mid lane, which I think is the best hero this year by far. Even in some of the games that he lost on it, he still went like 15-1, and then he lost going 15-2. But that's still a tremendous performance on the hero. And it's a really scary hero to give away in these games where you have limited insta lockdown potential. Here, Gaimin have tried to address it. You have Doom, you have Stop, you have Lasso, you have Lasso Chains. But if the Storm does want to commit for defensive items here and go early BKB in this game, there's not a lot to get down in the fight. Then you really have to find a Doom on him, and that is unlikely. He plays the fight well, especially with Silencer Global to back him up. I kind of like the Storm pick here. I think it generally works out for BB Team more than it does not. They just have a pretty well-rounded lineup. It really will come down to what the PL gets done in general. That's the one piece of this puzzle that, well, I don't know if anybody knows 100% what they can do here.
We did see a Phantom Lancer recently, right? I don't remember where we saw it, but picked it up. And was it actually Pure? I remember whoever did it just went like a straight normal Phantom Lancer build. Did not go any, did not go the Aghanim scepter. It was Watson.
It was Watson.
That's what it was.
Last
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, was that before or after the bump to the Ags? I think it was. That did make a big difference to his build-up. That is what the route Pure wants to go down. See what he ends up doing here. Of course, this could be a game where the PL just doesn't do anything, and it could be a game where the PL does nothing and loses. Can always be the PL factor.
True. I think one of the other things for me about this matchup is that Quinn is such a proficient laner, and I think JPK is one of the few mid laners who can beat him in this matchup. And sure. I think he has shown repeatedly, especially in that finals recently, that JPK did outwork Quinn in that mid matchup time and time again.
I have always said I think JPK can beat anything in lane. He can be the best player in any lobby. It's just a question of, does that happen? Because the biggest thing holding this guy back is making himself in some of those situations, particularly if he's gotten over some of the mental block issues that people categorized him for a long time. I personally think he has. I think he's a lot more consistent than he's given credit for. And particularly his laning, it's not bad. He wins a lot of his lanes, goes even at worst, as Kezu mentioned. That is something you can play around. It's like you can build around.
but Watson swung that Infernal Blade. So that kind of ruins Tofu's rotation.
And not expecting the early TP here, but ends up working out. This kind of leaves Ace up to and dry out here. Sacrificial Centaur lane. He is the poorest core out of this laning phase. Generally not a position Zero thrives from. And also, I feel like not a position Ace thrives from.
No,
and
definitely
I think this has been a big issue for gaming overall this season, is how do you balance the farm amongst these three cores compared to when you had Dyrachyo before, who is way more sacrificial in playmaking than Watson by default. That takes away a lot of natural Ace and farm priority for Ace when you have to make sure you give Watson a better game maybe you had to prioritize with Dyrachyo. And you end up in these situations where it's kind of left up here alone. You give up another kill, you give away an int. Free lane for the Phantom Lancer. This Centaur just has nothing right now.
I feel like that shouldn't be the case. I mean, Batrider, Centaur, like on paper I would say like, oh, okay. This Phantom Lancer's not going to be getting any kills at its lane. In fact, he might even die.
Dire structures are fortified.
Silencer, quite the menace in the laning phase, but you add in Tofu rotating around, and managed to get a deny on the Arcane Rune, but Kato is going to be run down by Firefly. Help Quinn get that deal though. Tofu trying to save it for him. Instead, Firefly will burn him out.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
A little
attack.
snowball action for Quinn on this mid lane. Exactly what you want to see. If this Ember can take the game over, he can be a menace here. Not the greatest Ember game I've ever seen, but it is Quinn on his signature Ember in that mid, so can always do some serious damage and can enable the support more importantly. If he can get the Warlock in the back going in some of these early skirmishes or for runes or wisdom shrines or whatever it is, this lineup can come online for gaming. You have stands that need to back it up. It is not a slow lineup by any means. All three of these cores can come online very early in this game and cause PBT problems if they're not ready to fight it, because the PL is potential liability there. You just get outnumbered if the Doom is willing to join early fights. And Ember is the guy who's going to set all that up, particularly if you get those power rings. So I would fully expect Demon to commit supports on the 8-minute rune here.
Middle tower is
He
under
should
attack.
be aware of it. And that means either put some pressure on the side lane, don't let them commit so heavily to this mid lane without getting punished somewhere else, or just take the fight to Quinn if you believe you have the lockdown, which a Balancer Shaman can give it to you. So you actually do have that option.
Going after Ace again. Man. He just picked up his Vanguard, so he is a much tougher kill than previous, but it's still okay. Hit the stomp right as GPK jumps in. Don't think that saves Ace, though. GPK, plenty of magic damage to pump into the Centaur. The Vanguard simply will not save him. Does get as much damage as he can out before he falls. Does a little bit of extra work against Pure.
They are targeting the weak point on the map right now. It is this Ace Centaur. He is behind. He's getting put farther behind. Just the feed off him.
Look at this. Quinn cutting the wave that's coming in this mid lane, so he has more pressure to be able to, one, hit the tower, but also hopefully more control for the 8-minute power rune. That's what he really wants out of this.
He set this up well. He should get it here.
And we'll get it. It's a shield rune top.
And nice little play. They're getting stacks up as well if you're gaming, so there will be some recovery here. Centaur wants to join in on that, and they're going to get aggressive. This is Ember gameplay to a T.
He free dives with the shield rune. You know, even if the Storm Spirit shows up, Quinn's not really going to be threatened by that. So keeping the pressure up, take out the support, put some damage on that mid tower. Spying out a little bit of stacking action here from BB team. Arrow wants to cleave through this with the Tidebringer before they to work on it.
This is HP mid tower. You're just giving up off of one sequence here because the Storm on top and used resources. Quinn takes huge advantage of it. Calls the supports mid, dives the Shaman. Now they're going straight into that triangle, eyeing up the stack situation.
And they're going to take him. Arrow, he wasn't able to clear it out fast enough. Maybe the Torrent takes a last hit or two.
I got
But otherwise, yeah. All going to game Gladiators. Now the supports are being pulled in, trying to protect the triangle. Now it's all kind of getting a little slippery out here. Okay, goes for the punish though. The support's pushing in too deep to dive after Kantomi. They do have Golem, they're going to drop it on the Storm Spirit, but he still managed to get the kill onto the Batrider and zips away. He's good for now. BB team. This is getting a little awkward for gaming Gladiators. Play out the ward at least.
I would have liked that to have been cleaner for sure. They're still getting the map pressure and the control they want. They got the ward out, steal some of the stacks. The Ember is snowballing. That's the most important part here of their game plan. This is your biggest initiation tool. Easiest way to set up these kills. So as long as Quinn is surviving, having a good game, getting runes, you're generally happy with the exchange.
And Centaur usually is able to recover off of maxing out return, right? He'll play the lane, he'll play neutrals. Like, I feel like this hero's not the worst when it comes to being shut down early in lane.
Especially with the amount of stacking that's been going on.
True.
There's a lot of gold waiting for Ace here. He is gonna clean some of it up right now. Juicy stack for Centaur. This will get him back in the game. He can still contribute on the map with Stampede. You don't need him to have the back of the game here. Particularly when you have this carry Doom. This is a kind of scary lane for a BB team to sit in while this Doom is active.
Up by 2,000 net worth, but they gotta stay ahead. That is the one thing. Notice is on them. Set the tempo of this game to put pressure on BB team to keep them on the back foot and make sure they don't let this Phantom Lancer get online.
This Ember is controlling a lot of the space right now. Yes, BB team are not having fun interacting with this mid lane.
Early Diffusal Blade might help put Pure into a position where he can kill Ace again, but kind of unlikely.
Mana Burn's going to be solid this game. These are not cores that like getting burned out.
Yeah, that's true.
They're also cores that I feel like can be mana burned out pretty easily because their mana pools are not that large for the spellcasters they are. You're looking at double strength core in the Centaur and the Doom with pretty low mana pool, and Ember can get burned out in exploration.
Got the chains onto Pure, but he's underneath the tier 2. This is too much for Gaiman. BB team will respond with teleports. Gaiman, they got those teleports out of them, and they still have some control up here. They're going to push this top tower. BB team, though, they're pushing in mid, they're pushing in bottom. Feels like this is pretty efficient trade-off for BB team.
Snake bottom gets value out of Snake tower. Even they want to respond to this. This is not a tower they want to give them for free. Not sure how strong Watson is. He's available. He's full resources. Gotta farm out those things.
The extra gold off of it. Look at the lash on the Shadow Shaman, so we may see that come into play later on. He might be able to get some solo kill potential with the Serpent Wars.
That's a lot of damage.
It is.
UBT are basically just saying we're okay giving the Ember a strong early game here if our PL gets an uncontested lane, which is effectively the trade they got. Yeah. They should be happy with it in that sense. It's just a matter of GBK not giving up bad kills on this Storm and being able to eventually catch that Ember at some point as we enter the mid game here.
I do think this part, I was playing Warlock recently, and I did feel like there was a significant life upgrade of Fatal Bonds plus the newer Shadow Word that does the AoE bit of damage. You can't actually clear out waves. It did feel pretty decent.
Yeah, he's been able to do that for a while though, right?
Yeah, I know. It's just, you know, Warlock.
Oh, you haven't played Warlock and
Warlock hasn't been meta for a while, you know? And I was trying it out, and I was like, wow, this actually feels a lot better than I thought it would, you know? Before it was just like, does AoE Shadow Word like really... In my head, I was like, is this going to change anything about the hero? I doubt it. But with the prevalence of supports, you know, needing to also farm, also be able to, whether it's hit neutrals or push out waves, Warlock has that option.
Let's see some trails here. Happening.
Heavy commitment, but definitely a dead Kunkka. Trade off, Ace. He activates Sandy. Pierce able to keep up with him, though. Runs him down.
I'm not gonna lie, it feels like every time Ace goes down, it feels real bad because that's another Inti's loss.
Yeah.
It's gonna add up for him in this game. You combine the lowering of his mana pool plus the fact he has to play into the diffusal PL. It's a significant problem for this Centaur. You might be able to sit there with some Crimson later, but if he has no mana, your fight contribution is gonna be pretty low.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Some shrine. Danny trying to be cheeky. He's actually getting it while he's shackled, but with the global silence being used, they might be able to get this Bat Rider. Pierre's gonna run him down, but he's putting in the fire and flames. The combo with the Doom and the Bat Rider. Hey, fire rises.
Fire rises, Austin. That is That was my concern with the PL in this game. You're into a decent amount of early AoE. I just don't know how much you can join early fight, particularly if Watson shows up. I feel like Doom just squashes any hope in these early fights with the Phantom Lancer. You just get burned out so fast between the Scorcher plus the Radiance. You can also potentially get that out a little more at some point, bump up the Ember damage slight. We'll have to deal with Stampede going through as well. Not fun for Pure joining these early fights.
Trying to get the deny. He does manage to get it.
Bottom tower has been denied.
Win is dead. Big pickup. Was the deny on tower worth it? Certainly not.
No, that is the biggest kill to give up in this game. It's your Blade Mail Ember off the map for 30 seconds. Real rough stuff. I felt like if that kill was going to happen, it was going to happen off the back of a global too. You didn't even need the global for that. So now you have it back up at 30 seconds here.
Dire are scanning.
Good opening for BB team as they find themselves down a little bit of gold, but not too much. And this is a nice gap to open up between the Ember and the Storm.
Then go back for the Shadow Shaman. 2 cores and a support. Oh, BB team. I feel like they were in a decent spot after the Ember kill, but trying to get way too aggressive as the Ember is respawning.
I don't understand that play at all. I mean, why go that aggressive, that deep on limited vision while your global was 10 or 15 seconds off cooldown?
Yeah.
Your window in that series was when the global comes back up, you can make an aggressive fight, and then you don't have to worry about the turnaround potential. It is a spell that can counteract the Stampede save, the Golem turnaround. Instead, you just run headlong into all of it. With this Phantom Lancer in the early game that we've seen is not a real threat if Doom can just join the fight against it in response.
Yeah.
That was way too ambitious. Trying to get GPK some snowball action. Instead, it's just the reverse. And now you find yourself at an 8K deficit out of nowhere. Doom is turned on the money printer.
I do feel like when Watson was playing the Phantom Lancer, he was not trying to join in on these fights the way Pure is.
No, he just farmed.
He just farmed and farmed, and he got a hard butterfly period of time. Global Sounds put to use here.
Oh, Quinn in trouble.
He's half HP, and trying to save one. No, he does end up going down. Same fighting around these wards. Watson trying to finish him off with some of the burn damage. Meanwhile, Pure going after Toku. Once again, a lot of AoE damage, so he can't stick around for long. Backs away a little bit, hiding him out. CPK might go back in after another kill. Do you really want to go after Ace, though? No mana. There's nothing else to burn. He's just raw HP, 2,600 HP with a Vanguard and a Blade Mail.
Mail plus retaliate. Not a fun target to lay into here. I mean, Blade Mail is a super meta item right now. Not having a lot of success getting this Phantom Lancer involved. It's looking rough from here. What this early fighting build? He's falling behind. Every one of these fights he joins that he doesn't get some kills out of it, the game becomes harder. Yeah. Like these late game AoE items are going to come online for gaming. You're going to have more defensive capability. You're going to have larger mana pool to work with on some of these heroes.
And I think the scary part is BB team really can only fight with Global Sounds. You use the Global Sounds to get the kill of the Ember Spirit, but guess what? The Ember Spirit's back into play, and he is going to run at you.
That is a rough death for BB team. This pick has just not worked out at all. It's now getting hunted around the map. And the whole time your PL's getting hunted, this Doom is completely free-farming the jungle with Midas Radiance. Watson's massive right now. BB team need to find a way to stabilize this game. They're now 10K behind. This is not the team to fall behind early on.
Oh yeah, you know, Game Gladiators are more than capable of ending games early. You may never get to see a 3rd or 4th item on that Phantom Lancer.
I'm gonna fight around the Global Silence plus the bow. Those are your 2 strongest team fight spells right now. Try and get a power root on the Storm and get a good jump. If you can jump Watson and kill him, or jump the Ember, kill him first with Global, that can be a recipe for success.
Yeah, I feel like I haven't seen any teams setting up the fight first, right? I haven't seen an torrent go into into like wards on a hero.
I mean,
That would probably bring down the Doom.
I don't feel like I've seen Miro at all this game.
Dire's top tower is under
He's
attack.
been in the fights, but I have not felt the Kunkka's impact in dictating how these situations develop. No chase down to the X, as you said. Hasn't been some definitive turnaround with Torrent both that has stopped gaming in their tracks.
Dire's top tower
Continue
is
to be
under
useful as
attack.
the pipe will be finished up here, and it is a very good pipe game.
Radiant's bottom
Definitely
tower
some strong
is under
items that come
attack.
out for BB team that Gaming have to think about. As you know, Gaming's going to push towards BKBs. That's what's going to be strong for them. But the defensive items for BB team can be really good here. The pipes, the glimmers, the Lotus orbs in particular. Really good Lotus orb game against Ember, Bats, and Warlock Doom. Good single target ults to reflect, and a lot of good targets to dispel here. I would not mind seeing 1 or 2, even 3 Lotus orbs on the side of BB team if it really comes to it.
Oh, he spotted him in the tree. For Sage, he was just TP. Global Silence gonna be put to use. They found Tofu on another side of the map. Put the Global Silence that kill and make sure GBK does not die to the Doom. Looks like he did zip away far enough away. Watson will not be able to chase.
Get the BKB out of the Doom as
Dire's
well.
middle tower is under
Even significant, that was the 9 seconds. But all these ults on cooldown,
I mean, Miro's out here in no man's land. There's nowhere to really go.
might take a while.
It's true. Okay, they spotted him on the Lotus. Win lost it, but then I think Malady saw that the Lotus was being charged up, so...
So many scans, 3 scans.
Oh my god, he's gonna get a wisdom shot! He got out, got a wisdom shot. Okay.
That was mega worth.
It really was. And the funny part is, he might still die, because Tofu, he's coming out for the wisdom shrine. He's like, wait a minute, the Kunkka's still here, guys.
Yeah, he's just out.
He's just out. No lasso. Wow.
Dire's
Well, that
top
worked
tower
out
is
really
under
well for
attack.
him.
It did.
Win juked himself, and then he ends up getting a wisdom shrine.
Snapped his own ankles.
That's how you do it.
It's okay, I feel that. Twisted my ankle recently.
Dire's top tower
Sometimes
has
you just
fallen.
trip up on yourself.
Thanks for the personal story, y'all. Or int. Not Naomi here. Feels like this is the only guy he's taken the int from, but
he's got
Dire's
smarter.
middle
he's
tower
got
is
7
under attack.
intelligence. How many times has Centaur died?
4. So, yeah, over 50%. Not too bad. You got in all 4 of those times. You got it at least 3.
Dire are scanning.
He's true. First win, no BKB yet. But he is real strong. And he gets a lockdown on him with Global Protected.
Looking for an opening here off this lane ward sentry combination. They've got a Doom. Gonna make use of it. A BB team. And very cautiously.
Cut this lead down a little bit. Their map movement has not been too shabby here. Last 3 or 4 minutes to the position they're in.
Instant hex from Save and a Global Silence. What a beautiful save from the combo BB team supports.
Man, right on point there. He's got Aetherlens. Great use. Steal that storm out. He's causing with the global on cooldown. Way rather have GBK alive.
Yeah. Just sick reactions from Save.
Dodged. Even on the hill for Tormentor, but he cannot save here. Picks up the shard.
There. It's the warlock. Goes to the Bat Rider. Of course.
I mean, now Tofu can siege the base.
It's true.
High ground has been broken open here.
I mean, the combination of the Centaur tanking the tower and doing retaliate damage and Tofu with his shard sticky napalming. There you go.
So Watson's just like chilling in the back.
Yeah, Watson's just eating a creep in the background, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Munching on it like an apple.
He could get that alpha wolf eventually. Took him a while. Actually, a pretty slow alpha wolf to find for the Doom, but eventually get there, and that'll add some more DPS that Pure has to worry about in these fights. Vision trying to suffocate the map right now. Use the Ember's mobility. Route this top lane. They prompt a smoke out of this position if they feel strong enough to fight. Here there's a bit more HP to work with, but he also has 3k in the bank right now. It's kind of an awkward time for BB to make this smoke move because this Phantom Lancer doesn't really want to join the fight. He would rather finish the Zags.
Trying to catch Mira on the jump back to his X. Shackles, everything else, they throw everything they had to be able to get the kill on Quinn. Game of Gladiators, early wanting to find something, but yeah, Watson's early use of BKB means they're just going to give up the shatter shot and say, okay, you have it. Well, everybody else gets out.
There's a lot of space for the Storm, who gets out of the final end of that gank bottom. Looking good. BKB, you get another key Ember kill in this game. The Storm does not die. I agree with GPK, looking good. They're clawing this game back. Even are not getting that snowball action they wanted. They're not getting to use this Doom's incredible net worth lead how they want to right now. And it's not the best hero just going in the road pit, taking Aegis and forcing high ground or something like that with the advantage he has.
Was sure to bring a dust. GPK is going to try and get the response kill here with a lot behind him. They won't even give up Kataomi. That's just flat out a tofu time.
Storm is getting scary in this game.
Yeah, he was not supposed to have as many galvanized stacks as he does.
It felt like the Ember had a way better start, but this Ember has had a couple key deaths here. He's 4 and 3, and this Storm is starting to power up 4, 1 and 4. He has the global to back him up, and it's made a world of difference here. You look at the itemization of the game, and you're still waiting on that BKB for the Ember so that he can deal with the big disables here. It feels like everybody else has a dispel at this point. Outside of Ace, arguably doesn't need it as much. There's the BKB for GPK. I think this is the most important item in this game. Use the Storm's BKB to get you a large enough advantage to power you into the field. That means he should be invincible in this BKB. Like you pretty much have to lasso or doom him, and that seems impossible, especially with global that can either back up his jump or bail him out, as we've seen use both.
Does GPK need to stall out this game? When can this Phantom Lancer
Ideally, you want to fight with that axe. And it's just going to be hard.
I think you have to go just
okay,
raw
I mean,
HB.
This is the classic Phantom Lancer build.
Yep.
I do like the heart because you need some HP regen here to deal with all the burn, but
I do think heart is where you start being able to, like, because they have a lot of small AoE damage magic. I think the heart starts being enough that we're going to see effective Phantom Lancer.
I think he still gets melted off.
He's going to be jumping into this fight. Not going to be jumping down here and save. It just goes for run down the bottom lane, throws down the circle wards, get some damage, get some attention. The Gladiators, though, still trying to find more.
I think he needs another item. I don't see his PL going in the fight and doing anything, even with the heart. I think he needs the Ags to either just output a bit more damage and be able to pick his moments better. He needs more HP with something like a Scotty or... Scotty, yeah. Entry and exit type style. BK he's still doing work,
so
man.
much work.
Looking good.
He's good.
I think this is one of those games where if he loses it, he's going to feel real bad.
Yeah.
Like, what else was I supposed to do? Well, this carry's just AFK farming for what timing? It's just going to be a lot to go into. Particularly if you let Quinn get the Shivas here. I mean, if you want to try and fight before the Ember has Shivas, I can buy that idea. But if Quinn gets the Shivas, plus Shivas plus double blade mail plus Crimson Guard, Stampede to reposition or chase down the field, I mean, good luck. That is a lot to go into.
Thinking about another factor. The last time the Phantom Lancer was relevant, okay, running into Ace, not really what they wanted their smoke to run into, sadly.
Really don't want him. Yeah. That feels bad for them. As he was pretty alone. I mean, the response was coming, but it was a long way away. Of course, they didn't know that. It feels bad to leave a table like that.
Phantom Lancer has not been a truly meta hero since they upgraded Crimson Guard, that it now scales up. I think that's a really big problem for Phantom Lancer. If Crimson Guard already is like a great item against this hero, but it's good early on. Now the fact that Crimson Guard can scale up, and they've got a Centaur holding on to that Crimson Guard, so it's going to scale up a lot. It's going to block out so much damage. I think that really kills some of Phantom Lancer's, you know, like, timing. I think it just means you have to go later and later. Make it so this hero feels like it's being a real threat, doing real damage. Win. 1 minute and 40 seconds left on this Aegis. Trying to get to that Shiva's. Gladiators, do they take these last couple of tier 2s? So it's like they're looking mid.
Oh yeah, you keep pushing your advantage for sure. You are not afraid of taking the fight right now. Especially with how well Ace recovered in this game. He has auras online, continuing to scale up everybody. Shiva's is closing in. If the fight ever starts on BB Team's backline, I think it's just over. Not lose the shot on Watson, by the way.
Stomp lands, full staff. Here is able to get back up to the high ground. Watson not able to immediately jump off of Ace's initiation, so have some missed opportunities there. Over my hero, but they will finish off this tier 2. They saw the Phantom Lancers, and they know the PL isn't getting a ton of farm at this period.
It's just GPK on the map. He's thinking about Nullifier, I mean...
Really?
That's a mixed bag. It's even that good of a Nullifier game. The only thing it really does is you can jump the Warlock and all in him. I don't know how important that is in the grand scheme of things. Nullifier versus everybody else is not that valuable because there's BKBs already on the table, and especially on this Bat Rider, BKB already done for Tofu. Pretty massive here. That is way more reliable as an initiation push for Gaiman. Means Quinn doesn't necessarily have to commit fully as the initiator going in. He can just kind of go in, give some vision, be that frontliner, create some space, and then Tofu finds a latch. You BKB, you force that, pull that guy in. You can BKB just doom him as well. This could pose some problems for GPK.
I would feel a lot better if that was a Rasmus, but we'll see.
I mean, or Lincoln. Virus doesn't do anything to this hero. The armor, health, regen, damage are not that relevant.
And they're clumped up. Now it's still going to be double BKBs out from the cores, but the supports are going to get melted throughout this one. Man's going to lasso, pull back onto Hero at least. You're chasing it. BKBs will work dead. They're going after the Doom. He gets shackled up. And BB Team are realizing, okay, despite the quick reactions, we still cannot just brute force it against these cores.
This PL is nothing. I don't want to get on this pick, but that felt like such a good moment to get the PL in and try and capitalize on all the BKBs beat down. You landing this combo that just forced out really BKBs, did so much damage. An incredibly clutch hex on the bat jump that disjointed Gaiman's initiation. You still just can't commit to the second half of this fight. You don't have a carry that can run in and deal the significant damage. It's so dependent on the storm. It is as good as it gets for BB Team at this point in the game. This just tells me you have to go even later, play for later time. We're going to see Pure go in here, but like nothing. If anything, they're looking to turn around on him. Yeah, he almost going to do. I'm not afraid of you.
Between AC Shivas and the Crimson Guard, damage is being nullified at this Phantom entirely.
And the Radiance, of course, on top of it all.
Yeah, there's chance as well, yeah. Throw in some extra, like, armor enchantments, bronze enchantments and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, double Gale Guard. on this lineup.
Oh yeah.
That's not helping his. It's just hard to output the DPS right now. You know, the reason I'm a bit mixed on the nullifier for GPK because I feel like his position in this game is. I think it makes some sense to play to set up the Phantom Lancer a little bit. I think it's traditionally how you play with scary, but I also feel like.
David got the zoom onto the Phantom Lancer, so he's certainly going to be relevant in this fight. Jumping at the bar is going to be both the supports cleaned up as well. Game the gladiators, very quick with it.
This is where they can end this game. They just got the Shivas on the Ember. They have every item in the book against this Phantom Lancer. Time to make him deal with it and just take the fight. East out of the map, take it to the top, take it to the base.
Not really. GPK might still get the kill on Tofu. Pushes away, goes off the map, and he survives because of that. Now he's not gonna make it out. Oh no!
Not like this.
GPK tries to push it too much. Understandably, I mean, he's the only thing holding this game together, so he tries to min-max the use of his BKB to get a kill and get out. Instead, neither happens. He dies, Tofu lives, and keeps the gladiators free entrance into the base.
I've seen that one before. I've seen it in my book a lot. Right here, the Phantom Lancer carry. Frustration, it being really useless. You're like, I gotta do something crazy to salvage this game. You try and go for this solo play, backfire even harder. You go report Phantom Lancer, go next. Classic. All been there. All been there. And even in a pro game, it. So you see it appears very easy. You see the same thing.
Just like so, no silencer for this fight. He's already tracked him down, harpoons him back into play, but it looks like he is home free. Even gladiators shot a little bit. Kantomi had to buy back and use global silence, and still nobody on Game of Gladiators is even close to death. An aghanim scepter. Formality. Gracious.
These supports are getting quite big. We saw the Lincoln's done for Tofu as well. He's got more farm than this Kunkka at this point. Gaiman looking to close this one out. Some confidence to go into that game too. There's just not a lot of entryway into the fight. That's your silencer buyback. Gotta get a good jump. That's what it feels like. You have to jump. I mean, it has to be Ember or Doom. It's just the Centaur can likely bail you out. There's no Dispel. Oh, he just got Lotus. So, yeah, even that is that's a big problem now. That the Centaur can Dispel Global and bail the other cores out. But you're going to have to get rid of the damage. You have to take the Doom off the fight so the PL can have an impact here. There's no way
slipping
around.
By each other, Tofu. His breaks, so does Kantomi's. They immediately drop, double wards, quadruple wards. Win. Rates it first. And Game of Gladiators, another clean fight for them.
Call it after that fight. That felt like the Hail Mary to do something here to salvage this game. That's what this game is done. They just don't have enough damage to take the fight, even if the opening pretty well played, even if you start the end or lock him down. There's no follow-up. There's too much HP in this lineup, too much tank, too much Doom. Why do people disrespect this hero, Austin? I don't understand.
You have been saying that for like 2 months at this point.
The man is 10-0-9. He's dominated every fight. You picked up Phantom Lancer into it. Yeah, you put this game on a platter for Watson.
Unless a giant small. It's going to change something here. I don't see.
I feel like Watson's battles a better tier.
Especially combined with his damage that is extremely amplified, hitting for almost 400 damage to hit. Potential for a crit out of his passive, the Wolf Commander, and the giant small crit. Then that's disregarding all the magic damage he's doing. Overwhelming strength blink, radiance burn, and
it feels like BB team had to get more out of pure joining those early fights that he tried to join. You have the diffusal Yasha. If they win those fights, I can absolutely see them being in a position to snowball this game a lot more and shut the Ember and the Sentinel down in the fights themselves and just play through the storm, getting Aegises, creating space for the Phantom Lancer, that type of thing. But the second that kind of backfired, the PL falls behind. You just can't itemize this hero out of the hole. Like, you're going up against too much here, and I think Gavin itemized pretty perfectly. I cannot criticize anything across the board. I think the supports getting greedy is totally fine as well, because you have this Centaur buying utility for everything. You have Crimson, you have Pipe, you have Lotus, you have Stampede. Ace is doing it all here. So why not get some more damage on the supports and just finish this game off?
Upworld stats for the supports of BB team. I think that's going to save them from the pain that's coming.
They have triple staff? Yeah.
Well, Scott.
Okay.
GPK.
Install this game and trying to dodge some of the single target jump ultimates here. Over, like you said, you just come straight back into the fight and not much different.
Pure's trying to do this by himself. Somehow managed to get the doppelganger Tofu lassoing. Not quite the right target there.
Yeah, 45. You need some damage to salvage this game, if it's salvageable.
Where's that damage coming from?
Bloodthorn Phantom Lancer, that's it. Yeah. He is a long ways off, that Bloodthorn.
Spotting the real one. Mixed up though as he gets inside the base. Shackles, global silence. He still has BKB and he's gonna pop it slight and Remnant out. He's out of it.